Hello guys, happy morning. Today we'll try to understand one of the important things about our brain. We'll try to know what is happening inside our brain, how a man is feeling happy and why a man does certain activities, why he is focused on doing certain activities and why he gets certain kinds of satisfaction when he does few activities. These things has to be understood. Most of the people don't know why they are excited and why they are motivated and what is the reason besides their motivation. But when you analyze deep, you will come to know that there is certain reasons besides our motivation, besides our excitement. There is a certain feeling when you get, when you do certain greater task, tough task in your life. Why you have this feeling of excitement when you do certain tasks. So this is happening because of the dopamine which is there inside your body, inside your brain. So dopamine is a chemical which is there inside a brain which gets released when you are achieving something which is of a great rewards. Something of a social reward can give you a dopamine experience, a dopamine release, which is just a very good, nice feeling which cannot be expressed by our words. Let me give you an example before going ahead about to know further about what is this dopamine release all about. What is this chemical all about inside our brain which causes us to feel excited and motivated to do a work again and again. So we have this reserves of dopamine which is stored inside our brain. So whenever this chemical is released, the energy from our body is getting released and we get that extra additional energy when this dopamine is getting released out of our body. Let us take an example. I'm just roaming inside a forest like this, besides this lake, and I found a very rare fruit which nobody has found. Okay. And I just tasted that fruit and I found it very, very, very delicious, tasty, and I have never tasted such a fruit. It is a wild berry, okay. And I just went inside the forest and I got this wild berry and tasted it. So whenever I taste something which is rare, what happens is that the brain releases certain kinds of chemicals and it remembers that you have tasted something which is very unique, which others have not tasted it. So now this is a very unique experience for you, and the next time when you think about tasting such a wild berry, what happens is that this experience is repeated inside your brain and this chemicals gets released. So what is this great feeling? I cannot tell you by words. You get this feeling when you do some activity which is very unique for you. Okay, for example, you are just roaming around, okay, and you find something which is rare, maybe a flower, and the smell of the flower is very good. And you feel, and what happens inside your brain is that brain will store this experience. So the next time when you come back to that same flower and smell the same flower, that chemical will get released inside your brain. Okay, so this is reward seeking chemical. So this, whenever you do something which is very rewarding, socially or personally, this chemical get released inside your brain. So this motivates for your work, okay, for any kind of activity, maybe it is a work or something else, the excitement you are getting because of this dopamine release. That feeling of, doing something great that you have achieved, which is very unique, something which is very rewarding, is actually happening because of your dopamine. This is a chemical which is there inside your brain. This chemical actually releases the extra energy which is stored inside your body. Unless and until this chemical does not release, what happens is that you are not motivated to do some extra and additional tasks. So this you need to understand. So let me take an example. Somebody want to become a neurosurgeon. Okay, becoming a neurosurgeon and studying about the mind is very difficult. So he has to spend long hours and long years he has to wait in order to achieve that degree. Some person want to do PhD. He has to wait long time to achieve the degree. But during the process, how he is sustaining over a period of time to reach that level is that the release of dopamine which is having at a regular intervals of time. So whenever he achieves some kind of great things, like passing his examination getting some marks, studying some favorite subject, studying some difficult subject and grasping the subject. And whenever he gains a good marks in that examination, what happens is that this dopamine rush is happening. A burst of dopamine is happening. And once he get that degree of neuroscience or a PhD degree, what happens is that this dopamine get released, and this keep him motivated all the time when he is in the process of achieving that degree. He is in the process of becoming a neurosurgeon. He is in the process of becoming a scientist. He is becoming a cellular scientist. He is becoming some rare scientist wherein the area is very niche. So when the brain achieves such kind of level of achievements, there is a burst of dopamine. So when you understand this, what happens is that you know that your brain is operating at such level, and when such chemicals are released, you feel very excited. So for example, it also happens in the animal kingdom. What happens whenever there is a hungry lion. If you see a hungry lion, what happens? It searches for its individual deer. It's very hungry lion, and he sees that at a distance there is a deer, and eating that flesh of that animal is a reward for a hungry lion. So whenever it chases this deer, this gazelle, what happens is that and when it achieves in killing that animal, and when it achieves in eating that meat, what happens is suddenly its brain releases these neurochemicals called dopamine. So a circuit is formed. It remembers that experience. With the great difficulty it has achieved this. The brain creates a memory. A neural circuit is formed inside your brain, and it again seeks for same kind of things next time. For example, a thirsty animal is there in the forest which is roaming there, and is very thirsty on a summer day. What happens is that it searches for water, and a sight of water releases that dopamine inside its brain. And once it tastes it, it feels very amazing because of this chemical which is releasing inside the brain of that animal. Maybe it is a deer or a lion or elephant, something else. So what is this? Is a reward seeking chemical which is there inside your brain, which gets released whenever you achieve something which is very great, very unique. But thing is that soon it gets suppressed. For example, I am tasting a very rare dish from a rare hotel. For example, it is a biryani. Let us take an example of a biryani, because it's a common dish. It is prepared all over the places. But at one place, I get this very amazing taste, very unique taste. But the hotel is very far away. But once I reach there, and I taste that biryani, which is having a very good flavor, the brain remembers that flavor, and the chemical get released, whenever I am tasting the same biryani again and again. So what happens is that the brain wants to repeat such kind of experiences. So it searches for it. It searches for the details of getting closer to that biryani. So it does a deep detailing, okay? So when you understand that the brain functions in this way, you will be very happy to know that how the brain functions and how your human mind behaves in certain way. And that when you are not excited at certain point of time, that my brain is seeking certain reward here. So when you understand this, it will be easy for you to function in this world. So for example, you are doing your regular activity, like you're doing your office job, you don't feel excited, because most of the people get bored after doing the same work again and again for a long time. Your brain is not releasing any kind of dopamine there. Maybe at the month end, when you receive a salary of at 1 lakh or a 2 lakh or a 50,000 rupees or 3 lakh rupees or 5 lakh rupees, at one point of time, by seeing that reward of this money, your brain releases dopamine. This happens every month, and it becomes a usual thing unless you get a big hike, like getting a 5 lakh rupees salary. So I'm just telling you one thing, that whatever the excitement which your brain is giving you because of this reward seeking chemical does not long for a last time. That's why we get used to things very easily. Okay, before marriage, people think that I'll be very much excited by having my beautiful wife. The dopamine gets released after seeing the photo of the bride, that I'm getting married to this beautiful girl on the earth, on the planet. She's the most beautiful girl for you on the planet. And your brain has given this reward to you. Now immediately there is a rush of chemicals which is happening inside your brain, and it will tell that, wow, you're getting a wonderful man or you're getting a wonderful woman. But over a period of time, what happens is that the brain gets used to it. It does not release the chemicals. Now it wants something which is more unique than your wife maybe or your husband. Now it seeks somewhere, it does detailing for some other things. So you need to understand what is happening inside your brain and why we lose the excitement over a period of time when we are doing the similar activity again and again. So once you understand this, it will become very simple for you to know that why you are not able to get the same feeling again and again by doing a repeated activity. Okay, so what is that? You find a solution, what to do, how differently I need to do my same work from the routines which I do daily, how different route I can take while going to my office rather than the regular route which I take in order to excite my brain. You try to understand, you need to see your beauty and appreciate the beauty of your wife or husband again and again, because your brain wants to seek certain more excitement. You need to understand this. So what happens is that when you have this complete understanding, the functioning of you becomes very easy. You will be operating at a very high level. Okay, because you know that your stupid brain is looking for the chemical release and that, great reward-seeking experience. So you understand your brain now. And you know what is the reason why I'm not excited by doing this activity. So you continue to do and religiously the same work and appreciate the things which are already there with you. Because you know that this is something, a chemical factory which is doing a lot of activities similarly at the same time. It is not only with you, it happens with even the animals. Okay, that's why, once you achieve something very great, like, an athlete is running, and he's practicing it for a strenuous activity. He's doing a strenuous activity for a long time, and he's achieving a gold medal. Then he'll say, yeah, I have done it. Why he shouts like that? Because he feels that, there is a dopamine rush which is happening. Maybe after winning 15th or 16th, I don't know whether he'll have the same excitement or not. But once he tries to understand his brain, then he knows that this is a chemical rush which is happening inside the brain. And it does not give me the same excitement when I am achieving the same results again and again. So hope guys you got the point and how your brain functions, and we'll talk about how to live happily with your brain by understanding the chemicals which are there inside the brain. We'll further talk about the chemicals which are there inside your brain, and we'll try to understand how they are getting released and how we are getting excited by doing our activities. Bye guys, we'll catch up in my next videos wherein I'll be talking about some interesting topics about mind, brain, life and other spiritual topics. Bye.